He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. Most people never reinvent themselves because they never really confront who they are. They fantasize, daydream, scroll, but they never really clash. Today I will show you one of the sharpest tools in the self-reinvention toolkit. A weapon of the will forged in tension between what is and what could be. A weapon called mental contrasting. Mental contrasting is not just positive thinking. It is a war between the two versions of you. The old self, also called your first nature, and the avatar, your second nature. The one Nietzsche would say you must will into being. This tool comes from the German psychologist Gabriel Oettingen and goes hand in hand with the Nietzschean task of self-reinvention. With the life journey and all-important quest of becoming who you are. Not who society expects. Not who your past trained you to be. But the version of yourself that only you can forge through conflict, tension, and choice. The core principle of this powerful mental technique lies in two aspects: vision and obstacle. First, you vividly imagine your ideal future. Then, you immediately contrast it with the obstacle standing in your way. You don't avoid resistance, you hunt it. Because Nietzsche said it the best. What does not kill me makes me stronger. And strength only grows where friction lives. This technique creates mental tension. Tension fuels deep emotion. And emotion is motion. That's what drives transformation, not logic alone, but fire, urgency, ambition.
Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
I tried not to think of the words searing or flesh.
Stop it! This is your pain. This is your burning hand. It's right here.
I'm going to my cave. I'm going to my cave. I'm going to find my power animal.
No! Don't deal with it the way those dead people do. Come on!
I get the point, okay,
No,
please?
what you're feeling is premature and light.
What I'm about to suggest now might sound a little bit extreme, but so are the results. You need to give your avatar, your alter ego, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, a name. Trust me, this changes everything. Once you gave your avatar a name, the communication with that part of yourself becomes so much clearer. Your avatar is an idea in your head. It's the Übermensch in training. It's who you are becoming. Here is an example of what the inner dialogue, the self-talk in your head might sound like.
I'm begging you, please don't do this.
I'm not doing this. We are doing this. This is what we want.
No, I don't want this.
Right, except you is meaningless now. We have to forget about you.
Your voice in my head.
Your voice in mine.
You're a fucking hallucination. Why can't I get rid of you?
You need me.
No, I don't.
I really don't
Hey,
anymore.
you created me. I didn't create some loser alter ego to make myself feel better. Take some responsibility.
I do.
I am responsible for all of it, and I accept that. So please, I'm begging you.
It might sound strange, like you are talking to an imaginary version of yourself, but Nietzsche said it plainly. You must become your own master and your own judge and avenger. In summary, this is what mental contrasting really does for you. It gives you a stage where your higher self overcomes the old one, act by act, decision by decision. If this technique speaks to you, if you have already begun crafting your avatar and you are serious about building your second nature, then the rest of the toolkit is waiting for you. Every Sunday I publish a new volume in the Self-Reinvention series on our Substack. Link is in the description. It's for those of you building yourself, not through comfort, but through confrontation. And if Nietzsche means something to you and you are ready to turn your ideas into identity, then welcome home. Thank you for watching and see you soon, fellow thinker.